Hello, everybody. I'm Quin, K8QS.
And I'm Tom, WA9TDD.
And we are here for part 2 of our special 2-part series on the best ham cartoons. Although, if there's tremendous response, we might do a part 3. You never know. So stay tuned. We are from Ham Radio Perspectives. We look at the intersection of ham radio history, culture, and technology. We're on YouTube. You could subscribe there if you would like. But we love this topic, ham cartoons. And we're going to jump right in. Just to let you know, in part 1, we looked at antennas, gender or sexuality, technology, and dreams, the dreams we have as hobbyists. Because cartoons can help us laugh at ourselves and our hobby. What are we going to look at this time, Tom?
Well, we're going to look at part 2, and it's going to consist of money, obsession. Not obsession with neighbors and family, but just plain obsession, and neighbors and family.
You mean some hams are obsessed in the hobby? It can't be, Tom.
No.
No. And you mean that neighbors or family would get upset with us about our involvement in the hobby?
Yes.
No. Yes, you bet. That's why you redid your shack recently. Your
I
wife
didn't
couldn't
have any,
handle it anymore.
Yeah, she who must be obeyed.
Right. So let's jump in here, Tom, about money, leveraging limited resources with the promise of progress, right?
That's right. And the limited resources are just merely what we tell our wife we actually paid for equipment.
Now your spouse,
And
it could be the other way.
okay, that's true.
All right.
But speaking personally for myself, but congratulations. Just made a down payment on a brand new SDR.
That's great. This reminds me, Tom, that I've gone to meet a lot of hams over the years. You know, we've both been licensed for coming on 5 decades, I guess.
A whole century between us.
Yeah, and going over to Ham's house where the antenna system is worth more than the house.
That's a fact.
Or there's a piece of junk car out front, rusted through, but boy, oh boy, he's got the latest SDR in there. That's what we do. Built it myself. Just the basic tools: pliers, money; soldering iron, money; screwdriver, money.
And ain't that a fact? First you buy the kit, then you put it together, then you have to buy all the tools to make it work.
It's what we get ourselves into. It always has to do with money, I'll tell you. Tom, go for it.
The power company would like to have you QSL them $200.
I love this. I love this.
And you should just be thankful that he's not on rural power.
Yeah. She says she's got the lingo. The power company would like to have you QSL them $200. Oh boy.
DE Con Ed.
All right. So obsession. We get obsessed in the hobby. It's dealing with this insatiable desire that we have for more and more of really anything that's in the doggone hobby.
CQDX, CQ contest, CQ Islands on the Air. Good grief, this guy is so obsessed. He's no food, no water, doesn't even use the life ring.
No, he's actually shipwrecked, Tom. You know, this is Tom Hanks out there, and he's calling CQDX CQ contest rather than SOS. Did it?
I thought it was Islands on the Air.
Oh boy, I don't know. I think it's a shipwreck at any rate, because he doesn't have anything else there, you know. And look at the little life preserver he's got. So my transceiver is over here. He's pointing to it over his shoulder. That's just my testing equipment.
And this goes along with the 2 slides previous. I've built it myself with money, tools, money, test equipment, money. Or is this a contrast of Heath kit versus a night kit?
Tom, I love it when I go to these ham fests and these guys pull up with a truckload of old test equipment, and they're not going to sell any of it. And then they haul it all home. They just go back and forth. I don't know what they think. But in a lot of shacks, of course, we've invested a tremendous amount in test equipment, and we keep adding and not to get rid of anything. And then there's a little shack today, you know, that rig he's got on the right could just be some little dinky thing, a 7300 or who knows what.
CQ, 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 CQ. Here lies CQ McGall. He died without even signing his call.
He was obsessed
Mhm.
with sending CQ. I hear some of these guys, Tom, on the HF bands calling CQ and CQ. Hey, you know, after about 14 minutes of CQ, I just give up. I don't know who it is, what they've got going on.
You can't tell if he's calling it a pause between the C and the Q, or is actually a pause to listen.
You know, Gil, who did this cartoon, Phil Gildersleeve, I think what he was actually getting at here is the life of the average ham who just goes through life. Life is a matter of CQs. It's a matter of entries in logbooks and the like. And finally, it all ends. You have long hair and you're in your shack there with the spiders. I'd like to save you, old chap, but I've a sked coming up.
Poor old cow and farmer there being totally neglected with flood rescue. I don't know what to make of this, Quinn. That seems like a pretty preposterous idea. But then again, that's what humor is all about. Expecting the unexpected.
Yeah, and it's exaggeration, right? It's getting to the point of hyperbole. And so this guy's got his antenna up there on the little boat, fed with some nice ladder line, and he's working away. And I save anybody. You know, he's having fun.
The only guy who didn't enjoy the DX contest. The poor guy that's got to verify all those QSLs and the logbooks.
Yeah, there's always somebody on the other side of something that we enjoy in the hobby.
Yeah, and I don't know if
so
this
we get obsessive, Tom. You know, how many stations can we work? And here before the days of putting it in a digital log, somebody else had to deal with our obsessions by going through those logs.
I don't know if this is humorous or just plain sad.
Yeah. Well, there's a fine line between those two. Look at this. This guy here is in for his eye exam. The doctor is pointing to the C, and what does he do? It. He sends the C and CW. I like that, Tom. In fact, I got to tell you, there are still days in my life, although this was terrible when I was first learning CW. I'd be going down the street and I'd see road signs and I'd start imagining by sending CW of whatever's on the sign.
I think that's how we learned code in the first place, is translating newspaper and magazine articles into Morse code until we got to the point where we couldn't get it out of our heads.
And you know he's really into it too, because he's got a hunchback there. He's just been leaning over that key, struggling to work Tasmania for decades.
Oh, that's just my first QSL card. A 5.9 in Gettysburg.
5.9 in Gettysburg. Well, just to explain to everybody, Gettysburg, you know, the location of the Federal Communications Commission
is in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, so he's proud. That's his first. They sent him a ticket. They sent him a big tickets. He was probably out of band or something, but they said he was 5'9", so he's got that up there. He's pretty proud of it. I actually got some cards, not from the FCC, but from official observers. Weren't too happy with my key clicks and harmonics and all that stuff. And as long as they gave me a good report, I wasn't too upset about it.
That's right. All the OO reports I got were like traffic parking tickets.
So now we get into a new topic here: neighbors and family. These are the outsiders from the hobby who represent a threat.
And I'd hope to pull a full 40 hours running that DX contest or the weekend contest. He's QRMing the whole neighborhood. He's QRMing the telephone. The neighbors are upset. The dogs are upset. The local constabulary is coming in with a shotgun to blow the guy away. The poor final tube is sweating in the corner. There's an obsession for you.
There's an obsession. And look where it got him right there. His own son is crying seeing this 12 gauge double barrel shotgun through the window here. This neighbor is not going to fool around. You get off the air right now, or we're going to blast you to bits, buddy. I never had this, Tom, but I did have neighbors throwing cherry bombs outside my window.
It looks like his wife is smiling, though. Finally getting finally getting him off the air.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Just when the band gets hot, all the relatives drop in. Oh, no.
Isn't that the truth? I mean, it's Thanksgiving Day morning. You're expecting them all for dinner around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You decide to get on. It looks like 7:20 in the morning. Guess what? Everybody arrives fashionably early.
Yeah, this is like you earlier today. You sent me a text message that you're on 20 meter FT8 and you're about to work China, and which is true. It happened this morning, and I'm imagining that your neighbor is going to come over and say, "Tom, I can't get the lawnmower working."
I have no neighbors, fortunately. Would you mind running upstairs and see if it's bothering your mother's TV? As I think Mother has already been bothered.
She's already bothered. In fact, she put a hole in the ceiling, so anytime he's getting out of control, interfering with the TV, he's on 6 meters, and she's watching channel 2. Boy, he's going to get another dart right in the noggin.
When I lived in an apartment, I had my rig with an antenna hanging out the window, a long piece of wire, and every time I'd get on and affect her TV, the neighbor would turn a broom upside down and pound up on the floor with the end of it.
Oh boy, you can't make this up. It's the way it goes. And his wife looks a little perplexed there, but not too upset about it. This is obviously something that happens routinely. I'm thinking that she's going to get something from Hickok or somebody else that's going to be a little more powerful than that dart gun.
Well, I wonder what she's got underneath that towel. She's probably got a 357 Magnum.
Yeah, right. Ready to go. Okay, buddy, this is it. We've had enough with this hobby. You better get a high filter on there or something. So, in conclusion, for part 2 of our little video series here on ham cartoons and ham humor, we need humor for humility, to keep us humble, not to take the hobby too seriously.
I know everything there is to know. I memorized the license manual.
Yeah, he did, boy, and he's probably in real trouble there. In any case, we are Dit and Da, the Morse brothers. I'm Quin, K8QS.
And I'm Tom, WA9TDD.
And we post our videos on Ham Radio Perspectives on YouTube. You can go in there and subscribe if you would like. If you have other ones that we haven't covered, cartoons in this one or the previous one, then please send us some cartoons or links to cartoons that you would like to see, and we will do part 3. And if you haven't seen part 1, go take a look, and we also give credit for some of the creators of the cartoons in part 1. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, gang, we do take the hobby too seriously sometimes. We need humor. We need humorists. We need some new cartoonists for today. So let's see if we can't make that happen.
And if you didn't like our cartoons, draw one and send it in.
You bet. Let's get some new ones going. 7-3.
7 trees.
All right.